All right, sorry about that, you guys. I don't know what happened, but
I think the waitress might have got a hold of the feed and snipped the cord.
she said, you know what?
She
This
goes,
is
I
the
know, that's
last
me he's talking
time
about.
we are not gonna ever see Dave Muncie again, Mr. Grumpy. You know, I actually forgot to tip once at a restaurant. It was totally an accident, and I was leaving. I think I was in a rush or something. Forgot to tip. And then I went back inside because I realized I forgot to tip, and the waitress came up and was holding the receipt, and she was like, "This is BS." You know, she actually said the word, you know.
Yeah, the whole one.
And she's like yelling at me, and I was holding my money in my hand, like, "Oh, I forgot." You know, I couldn't believe that she was yelling at me in the middle of the restaurant, thinking I did it on purpose when I had come back to finish the the
Sounds
tipper.
like Miss Grumpy.
So she was
Yes,
Miss Grumpy. She
there
was
you go.
very upset about it. I mean, I know that you got to work for tips, but as you said, that now that you tell me that, it's not required really to tip.
Well,
Not that I don't
no,
want to
it's
tip.
not.
It's just
It's
she
up to
probably
you.
shouldn't have yelled at me then because it's not a
Yeah,
rule.
no. Well, I think that
I forgot.
I think once you work in the business a long time, and I've worked in the restaurant business off and on for many years, you start to think it's a rule. You know.
Yeah. Oh, sure. Yeah, and I think too.
And-
Again, it's just
And the waiters
being
and
polite.
waitresses are working hard. They're bringing you a wonderful experience that you have gone out to have. And it's like I say, because I've raised in the business, because I've been around waiters and waitresses my entire life and have been one. My brother owns several restaurants at one time. He owns one now. And another brother in the catering service. I always tip. I'm a real good tipper, as a matter of fact.
that's good.
Because of that. Yeah,
Yeah.
because of that. But I also know the rules that if you have a bad time and if the waiter is not up to snuff, that 20% is not required. That's for sure.
Because I think that's the whole point of tipping is that they're working for that tip. It's not like if they treat you badly, that's the whole. I mean, that's why they wouldn't treat you badly because they know they wouldn't get that tip if you give it to them anyway. Then that would defeat the purpose. So. Oh, Jared's saying, let's have pizza in New York with you and your great family. I don't think I've ever had New York pizza. I've had Chicago-style pizza, and it's weird.
Well, I'll tell you the difference between New York and Chicago. And I haven't lived in either place, but I've had both of the pizzas. And New York, I'm not crazy about Chicago pizza because it's so thick. It's deep dish.
It's like a cake.
Yeah, it's when they say pizza pie, they mean pie, real
Yeah.
pie. Now, the thin crust pizza is what I like. New York has the really more thin crust pizza than anything. Now I saw on the Food Channel once, I saw a pizza place in New York that served thin crust pizza, and their sign out front said, "We will serve no pizza until it's burnt." And I like my pizzas burnt.
Really? You
Oh, yeah. I mean, when I order a pizza, I say thin as you can make it, and I want it burnt around the edges. And
Wow.
that burn taste on the pizza just adds to the flavor. It
Really?
really, really does, yeah.
Yeah.
And people that will have pizza with me, that will eat the pizza the way I like it done.
Yeah.
And we're not
They
talking.
hate it, don't
we're not,
they?
it's just a couple of little burns around the edge, not burnt to pieces.
Okay.
Just well done. They all agree with me. They all go, "Oh, that little burn in there is just perfect." And that was the idea behind the pizza place in New York. They said, "We want people to taste that little burn."
Yeah, I
that they
think I've
get
had
in
that,
there
and
with
it does
Yeah.
taste good.
Yeah,
Not
there's a little
charred
something
where you
extra.
can't taste anything,
Yeah,
but like
yeah.
just a
Just a
little
little
burn.
burn, just a
I
little
kinda
burn here and there,
burn
not the whole
everything a
thing.
little anyway that
There
I
you
make.
go,
So
there you go.
So that's good. I like the thick crust though. I always like the thick crust, and I like the crust is my favorite part.
Well, if you get it's not that the deep dish pizza doesn't taste good.
But
It
that's
does.
not even
There's just
crust,
so
that's pie,
much of it.
yeah.
There's
Ew.
just so much of it.
It's too
that,
much.
You can eat a half a piece and you're full.
Yeah.
So that's my thing. I know there are a lot of people that love it. We're probably getting some news on it right now, but
Yeah, I want to pull up actually, just because I had never had it until last summer, and I thought I would love it because when I order deep dish delivery, it's so different than Chicago. Like deep dish, from Papa John's or something, it's just a little bit thicker crust. It's like nothing compared to what you really get in Chicago, where it's like pastry crust.
yeah, it's
too
pretty
much.
heavy. Well, it's their style. It's a style I'm sure that they defined to make them different from New York, which
Yeah.
is, you know, what Chicago spends a lot of time. Well, there you go. Yeah.
Yeah, let's pull
That's
this
I
up
mean,
so you
look
guys
at it.
can
It looks
see.
wonderful. It
It
looks very
looks
tasty.
very
but
tasty,
it's
but in
just
reality,
so much to eat.
it's
Look at that.
so much, because look at that
Yeah.
crust there. It's like it's not. It's really
Yeah.
kind of hard and pastry like. It's almost just too much. I like the crust though, and like when I start to get a little full, I'll just pull off the crust and start eating it. I do like the crust part, but yeah, again, like there's another picture. It's almost like it's just too much for me. I like New York style better, probably.
Yeah. Yeah. Little thin. Taste all the flavorings, and you taste a little bit of the crust as well.
Yeah.
There you go.
So that sounds good. Well, are you gonna go to the Phoenix Open this weekend? Oh, you're not, because you said you've
No.
gone so many times.
Yeah, I've been there
Yeah.
quite a few times, and I just I'm going to be working. I'm going to be here.
Oh right, Super
working
Bowl
as
Sunday,
well,
you
so,
guys too is happening.
Yeah, we'll have the crew in. John and Carrie, Jude will be here. Of course, he's always here on Sunday, and then I'll be here to do the weather. So that doesn't really cut into the day. We won't come in until that evening, but yeah, that would just be too much for me to do. It's tough to get in and out of. I'm not a line waiter. I don't wait in lines very well.
I know. I hate waiting in line
Yeah.
for the bathroom. Anything like I'm like I hate that. I hate doing that. You know, when you have to just plan ahead, knowing that you have to buy 2 drinks at the bar, so you don't have to go back and wait in line for your
Yeah,
next drink.
there you go. When it's a full bar, that's definitely the way to do it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm just
I've never
especially
been.
in the car. I'm just not I'm not very good with stuff like that.
No, me neither.
Yeah,
So,
so-
well, thanks for giving us an update on all
Okay,
things pizza
beautiful
and
weather, yeah.
tipping. Now you guys know. One more question about tipping though before you
Sure.
go. Okay, so if I'm picking up food from a restaurant,
Mm-hmm.
like if I go into a restaurant and I order like a chicken wrap and then
Mm-hmm.
they give it to me and they give me the receipt and ask for a tip, am I
Now,
supposed to
what
tip?
I do on that, all takeout, anything I take out, $1.
$1.
And that's because they packaged it, they rolled it up, they put it in, they take care of it for you.
Okay.
Places that I go to on a regular basis, I may give a little more, I may give $2, but the reason for that would be I go there on a regular basis, I want them to
Do it
wrap
right.
that food right every time.
Yeah.
And they do. So, I mean, there's, you once again,
That's smart,
somebody is
though.
doing something for you, and you're thanking them for it.
Sure.
By giving a tip, and then when you return, they will go, this guy. I remember when I pick my pizzas up now. I used to have them delivered, but I remember when I would have my pizza delivered, I would always give a big tip.
Yeah.
Now, the reason I did that was because a guy that delivered pizza one time said, if you give a big tip and you order a lot, they will always make sure you're the first guy to get your pizza.
No way.
They will pass up other people to bring you a pizza.
Oh, are you
So-
serious? Because I order pizza a lot. So I should.
So if you drop a dime on the guy, drops a nice, not on you, not not a $20 or
Yeah.
anything, but you tip them what it's worth.
Yeah.
Then they will remember that. And
Oh,
but
that's
I said, yeah, but
smart.
those drivers change so often. And this guy said, well, at the place I worked at, they put a mark next to your name, so they would go, oh, this guy ordered. He's a good tipper. So
Like people are fighting.
Yeah.
No, I want Muncie. No, you got him last week.
That's right. But I mean, I order a pizza and they'll say, okay, that'll be there, and that'll be there in an hour. And half an hour, ding, ding dong, ding dong.
Yeah,
there
'cause
it
they
is,
want
'cause
that big tip.
They've looked at that and saw that
Mr.
there's a big tip.
Muncie, we're here for the big tip. That's awesome. No, I see. I order pizza a lot online, but they'll tip online before they come. So and they probably don't prefer that. They probably want cash. When they come, I'm always saying you got the tip online, right? Because I'll just tip already online when I order
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
They probably prefer the actual cash. So maybe I should do that going
and that's
forward.
another thing with tipping that I like to do. I like to hand them the cash because sometimes they don't always get the whole tip.
Oh,
a lot of
online?
times, if I'm in a restaurant where I know they share tips, which is not a bad idea.
Yeah.
And the reason is because the dishwasher is working as hard as anybody else, and he's not out there getting tips.
Yeah.
So there's a little percentage when they share tips. There's a little percentage that goes to the people that aren't on the floor. Now, if my waiter does something extraordinary for me, does something special for me, and makes something good that was bad, turns something around,
Sure.
when I leave the restaurant, they will get a tip that they're going to share with other people. But when I leave the restaurant, I'll put a little something in my palm and I shake their hand, they'll get a little something extra for that.
You
and that will be
guys-
theirs only. That's theirs only. They're
That's
not sharing
awesome.
that. Yeah.
That's really good etiquette. And it's because you grew up in that business, so you know. Okay, if any of you are waiters here in the Phoenix area, Dave's the guy you want to have at your table. He's gonna give you a big tip. You know.
Well, no, if you're doing your job, if you do it
right,
job, yeah.
though, if you do it right,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah,
good.
the thing,
That's
yeah.
really nice.
If you're doing your job, but we were not too long ago. We were in a place, and things didn't go well.
Yeah.
And the waiter came over and said, "Don't worry, I'm going to make all this good," and did.
Good.
And everything turned around and was just fantastic.
Yeah.
And so as we left, we gave him a little extra.
How do you know if they're sharing tips? How do you know if you're in a place?
Well, I
that
think
shares
most
tips?
people do. I think
Oh,
most
yeah.
places do.
Sure.
In fact, I would prefer that they do share the tips because, like I said, I was a dishwasher.
Oh,
And
yeah.
for years, when I left a restaurant, this is years ago. I haven't done this in a long time, but for years, when I left a tip, I would always take a couple extra bucks out and say, "Give this to the dishwasher," because I used to be a dishwasher.
Yeah.
And I knew they weren't getting tips, and this was long before they shared tips.
That's
and
nice.
one day, a waiter came over to me and he said, "You know the dishwasher's not getting that, don't you?" I said, "No, I didn't know that."
Oh.
And he said, "Yeah, probably 9 times out of 10 he won't."
That
So,
sucks
I
because
don't-
that's one of the hardest jobs in the restaurant industry.
Yeah,
is
it is.
Washing
And,
all the
and
dishes.
you're forgotten way back there in the back of the kitchen. Everybody forgets about you. But that's the idea of sharing tips.
Yeah.
Because that dishwasher is working just as hard. He's not out there pleasing tables
Yeah.
in the same way that a waiter is.
He's washing
But
your forks and everything, the
He's
hard
making
stuff.
dishes available to you. So,
Yeah.
so it's good they get a little tip too. And it's not only them. There's people in the back that stack the butter. There's people in back that get things ready
Yeah.
that you don't see out on the floor.
Well, that's good. I'm glad I know now that
Mm-hmm.
too, because there have been waiters that have done extraordinary jobs before. That now I know I can just hand them something extra in their hand that they don't have to share with anybody else. What are you
There
guys
you go.
saying in the chat? Anything? Let's see. They're talking about the dishwashers. You know, that's hard. I don't even like washing my own dishes at home. You know, when they're like have food in them, you're just like, ugh. So having to do it for other people.
I'm a good dishwasher. I am when I cook in a clean kitchen,
Yeah.
and that means that anything I use I wash right away. So the first thing I do,
wanna be like that.
Yeah, first thing I do when I go into the kitchen to start cooking, I do a lot of the cooking, but the first thing I do is I run a sink of water, a sink of soapy water.
Okay.
That's the first thing I do. And whatever I do, whatever I measure, whatever, it goes in the water, I wash it, I rinse it, I put it, I'm a real...
You just kind of throw them in there and then let it soak.
I cook it,
and then-
I cook in a clean kitchen. I don't soak it, I clean it right then, I put it and put it in to dry. But I
See?
cook out of a clean kitchen. Yeah,
I need to do
it's,
that.
when my meal is ready to go, there are no pans on the stove, there are none
Yeah.
of that. There's none of that there.
It's probably a better way to
clean
enjoy
kitchen
it.
that you serve the meal out of. I'm kind of anal like that. So,
No, but that's
yeah.
nice. I feel like I need to be more like. I mean, I put them in the sink, but I'm not washing them as I'm cooking. I should do that, because then after you're done, you're like, okay, I'm full. I want to relax. Now I have to wash all these dishes. So that's smarter. That's a smarter way of doing it.
Yeah, I had some friends of mine a couple of years ago brought their baby over from San Diego, and let me see, how old was he? He was probably about a little over a year old.
Yeah.
And making a lot of noise and stuff. And I remember they had all gone shopping, and I was making supper and babysitting. So what I did was I put the high chair in the middle of the kitchen, and I said, "Okay, kid, you're going to see a
gonna
show.
watch me do
You're
this."
going to see a show tonight." And I put on the show, making on. He was laughing and having
Yeah.
a good time, and I thought that was one of the more fun meals that I had prepared,
Yeah.
showing off for this little 1-year-old that was just had a ball.
That's
Just had a ball
multitasking
doing it.
at its best.
Yeah.
I think.
Was
That's so
doing it.
funny.
I'm
Yeah,
a
that's
good- I'm a
too.
good
I mean,
babysitter, too. I
Everyone
used to
kind of has their
babysit.
own quirks and. Wait, so you used to babysit? You said
I
You're
was a
good-
babysitter. Yeah, when I was growing up, I babysat for my friends' kids. My sisters. I was in competition with my sisters.
Oh, yeah, 'cause you have a
because
huge
not
family.
too many men or boys at that time were babysitters. But
Yeah, I guess it's a girl's
yeah,
job, but
if it paid, I did it.
yeah. No,
There was-
babysitting, you
yeah.
can get a lot of money from babysitting, actually.
Oh yeah. I enjoyed babysitting because Number one, generally the kids were already in bed when you got there.
So you could just hang out in other
You're
people's
just
house,
hanging out in their
eat
house,
their
watch a
snacks.
little TV, go through the refrigerator, see what
I know,
was
it's like
happening.
living someone
Yeah.
else's life for a little bit. My
Just for
friend
a
is
little
like
bit.
a professional nanny, so she gets paid a salary from the company that they own. You know, they give her health
yeah.
benefits and a
That's
salary
good.
to take the kid to school every day, be with them every day. She even gets to go on vacations with the family. So it's,
Yeah.
and that's
yeah.
her career, and she makes enough to support her life with that. It's kind of cool.
Yeah, we had 9 kids, and we didn't have a lot of money when I was growing up, but we did have somebody when we traveled. We did have somebody travel with us to help with the kids.
Yeah, 9. Yeah,
Yeah, 9
I
of
would
them.
want help too. You know, on vacation with 9 kids. It's like the Brady
Absolutely.
Bunch. I think that's more than the Brady Bunch, isn't it? How many
I
are in
don't
the Brady
know.
Bunch? Marsha, Cindy, Peter. I don't remember all the names. Will says, Dave, you're the man. I envy you. Dave is the man. He's got so many great stories, you guys. Appreciate you coming up here with me. We're
Well,
talking about
that's
pizza,
good. Yeah.
babysitting, tipping, cleaning. But you know, I want to be more like that, being able to clean while I'm cooking. I do think it's always nice to have your bed made when you leave your place. It's not totally silly. You probably make your bed every day because you're an adult.
Well, you
but
know,
I'm starting to get better at it.
Our house is a little different, brother. They're 2 Virgos living together. So when you walk in our pantry, everything in the pantry is
perfect,
is perfectly lined up. You know where everything is. There it is. Get this, get
Yeah.
that.
Are
I
Virgos
wasn't
organized people?
I wasn't raised like that. I mean, I was raised that it's okay to make a mess and just clean it up later and things like that, because that when you have that many kids in
Yeah.
a house, it's really hard to keep it clean. But my wife was out of the book, a typical Virgo, and I've kind of
Picked up on that.
picked up on her. My Virgo has gotten in touch with her Virgo, and off we go. So I'm kind of very much like her.
You mean Virgo like the sign? Like you're both
Yeah,
Virgos?
yeah.
Are Virgos more organized
Yes,
people?
more
Are
organized.
they?
Yes, more cleaning all the
Yeah.
time. Type of person that gets up in the morning, makes their bed right away.
I'm a Gemini.
My
Do
wife
Geminis
is still
not
in
do
bed.
that?
I get up at 6 in the morning every morning, and my wife is still in bed, and I make my side.
Are you serious?
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, that's taking it super far. You make your side of the bed.
Well, I
you
don't
like make it with her
I don't
in it.
make it.
Good
I
night.
just I pull the blankets up and put them
Oh,
over
that's
the
good.
pillow.
Oh, see,
and-
that's sweet.
Yeah, so
That's
it's
good.
kind of made. It's
Yeah.
not like tucked in or anything, but yeah.
Get
It's-
out of bed so I can finish
It's
making
somewhat
this.
anal. But
That's good. No, that's good. I mean, I'm a Gemini. I don't know. Gemini's organized? I don't think they're organized, Geminis.
yeah, no, we're very organized. Yeah.
Say Virgos are organized. Yeah, I like reading about signs and reading like what personality traits. Snake CIA in the chat saying he's a Gemini as well. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I like reading about signs. I know Scorpios can be really intense people. You guys in the chat.
I know that. My wife's in touch with her Virgo. Yes, she is. Yes,
Well, that's
she
good. No,
is.
I envy people that are really organized. My mom wanted me to get this book called The Art of Cleaning Up. It was the New York Times bestseller. It's about decluttering your life or something like that.
I think I know that. I've heard of that book.
I
yeah.
tried to do that, throw away any little thing that I just simply don't need anymore instead of collecting just tons of receipts and old lipsticks. You know, just things you don't need in your house anymore. I used to keep all my stuff. Now I'm trying to throw it out, be more clean, but I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm getting there.
It's hard to do.
You know?
It's hard to do. It's hard to throw things out. It really is hard to throw things out.
Yeah.
Even I have trouble with that. I mean, there are things that I will, you finally just go, I haven't worn this, I haven't used this, I haven't done anything with it. But even at that, you go, well, maybe if I put it over in this corner,
Right.
it'll,
Well, it just seems like such a
people, it's
waste.
kind of human nature to want to keep stuff and not throw it away.
Yeah. Oh, well,
There you go.
appreciate. Are you doing anything for Valentine's Day next week?
Well, I'm going to be a bachelor, so my wife is my mother-in-law is here with us, so my wife is going to go back to North Dakota with her.
Oh yeah.
So what I'm going to what I'm going to have to do is I'll have to get a Valentine's Day card and give it to my mother-in-law, and then she will give it to my wife or put it out for her on Valentine's Day.
That's so sweet.
Well, it's the only way you can do it.
Yeah.
She's not going to be here, so.
Yeah.
And then she'll be home a day or so after. and we'll go to dinner or something.
See,
at
that's
that
nice
point.
that you're actually making the effort, though, to make sure she still gets that card. You
Oh,
know?
yeah,
That's
yeah,
sweet.
yeah.
I like the holiday, but I was talking about it earlier. No one in the chat wanted to talk about it. People were like, Valentine's Day is such a Hallmark holiday, but
Well,
I like it.
it is. It is kind of like that, kind of a hallmark. I think it's it's an opportunity for you to just kind of do something nice, you know, for your sweetie.
Yeah.
Both ways around. But yeah, I think it's kind of an invented holiday to
Sure, to buy
sell
stuff.
cards and.
But we do that on
stuff.
Christmas too, right? We buy stuff, and I don't know. Oh well. We'll talk about a different holiday that makes. Yeah, see, he's like, I hate Valentine's Day in all caps. But it doesn't have to be about a significant other. Like my parents send me a card every year. You know, I love you. You know, it's just something sweet. I don't know.
Well, and sometimes these made-up holidays put a lot of pressure on people. You know,
Yeah, that's
to
true.
do stuff that you know. Sometimes a card is fine, or
Yeah,
a
just a
phone
card
call,
is fine,
just
or a
you
phone
know,
call.
whatever is just fine. You don't have to go out and spend a bunch of money on things.
Right,
and
that's too. Like the Sweetest Day, I don't celebrate that. I think that's a real made-up holiday.
The what?
Sweetest Day, it's like
Oh, yeah,
it's like
yeah.
your sweetest on sweet. I don't even remember. It's in October or something. like
Box
that.
Day. What is that's Canadian? I think. Box
Yeah,
Day.
I mean,
stuff
there's
like
all
that.
those random holidays, but yeah, I don't know. Valentine's Day, it's like
If
a
you
simple
look it up,
card.
I think there's a holiday every day. There's
I
something.
think there is too.
I
Yeah,
think they celebrate something every day, you know, like Socks Day or whatever.
yeah. I think. I mean, I bet today's probably some. Oh, today's Groundhog Day, right?
Today is
Yeah.
Groundhog's
So
Day,
there's a random.
which is
day for
different
you. Well,
because
that's
in North Dakota we would just grind up a hog. You know,
grind it up.
well, Groundhog's Day. So
Oh gosh. Oh no. I'm like imagining the worst thing right now. Just
I know.
grinding over a hog. But that's so yeah, there's a random holiday every day. I remember my
well,
first
I would imagine Groundhog's Day has made a lot of money for Punxsutawney, Pennsylvania.
why?
Well, because that's where Groundhog's Day originated. That's where
Oh.
they sell all the memorabilia.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
where
yeah.
the groundhog lives.
Right. I still haven't seen the movie. I need to see the movie.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I haven't seen the movie.
I haven't seen it. I've seen it 35 times at least.
My favorite
It's on
actor's
right. It's
in
on
it.
tonight. I think. I think I saw it was on somewhere tonight.
Right after Forrest Gump.
Yeah.
Who's in that? He's my favorite actor in Groundhog
Bill Murray.
Day. Bill Murray. He's one of my favorite actors.
Yep.
Did you know now he just sort of like he'd crash his weddings and he'll crash like he'll go. One time he was drinking and I think he was just walking around NBC Universal and just kind of crashed a talk show. Just walked in. People were like, "Bill Murray's here, everybody," because everyone will let him in. Like it's Bill Murray. You're not going to say
Oh
no.
yeah. No, I
So he
hear
kind of
ya.
just
I
walks
hear ya.
around
and
you know,
he's
just-
entertaining.
He is
He's, you know, I'm sure
entertaining.
they wouldn't throw him out for
Yeah.
being there, but
Yeah, gotta love Bill Murray. So you're gonna have a big show tonight talking about the beautiful temps on.
you've already seen part of it.
Yeah, you guys, we get a
Yep.
sneak peek here on Fox News now. That's the best part.
Alrighty.
All right, thanks,
for having
Dave.
me
Always
over,
a pleasure
okay?
having you up here.
guys,
You
thanks.
guys follow
Okay.
Dave on Twitter. Thanks so much for
Okay,
chatting with
bye.
me. You guys love having Dave up here. He is the best weatherman here at Fox 10 Phoenix. Talking about all sorts of random stuff on the show. Weather. That's Carrie. She's getting ready for the 9. You guys, you got to tune in and watch her. But we're just talking about all the random stuff here. We're talking about deep dish pizza. We're talking about tipping, the etiquette of tipping here. So the stuff we can provide for you on this show is just amazing, don't you think? I'll stop talking about Valentine's Day, though, because I know that was making some people mad. I saw someone in the chat in all caps, I hate Valentine's Day. I want to bring up this tweet, actually. Let's see if I can. Some of you were tweeting me while I was chatting with Dave up here, so I want to show some of your tweets. This one coming in, great compliment. Let's pull this up. She said, I love this guy. Bring him on more often. So much life experience. Hey, thanks for the comment. I'll make sure Dave knows that you said that. Very nice of you. Let's pull up another tweet here. Chive Green Lantern saying, former pizza driver here, Dave was completely right about drivers remembering great tippers. Hey, you know what, you guys? I appreciate all these compliments about Dave. Let me pull up his Twitter so that you guys can tweet him personally. He would love for you guys to send this stuff to him. So let me pull this up. Show you his Twitter account here. It's Fox10 Dave. So go ahead and follow him here and tweet him your thoughts about the segment. Nice things only, you guys. No bowling here. Save it for the chat. Nice things only if you have an opinion or you liked what he had to say during the chat. You can go ahead and tweet him at Fox10 Dave. Compliments only, you guys. Come on, let's be nice. But again, love this. Thanks, Chive, for tweeting that you said he was completely right about what he was saying. Let me pull up this one. Style and Spice saying this. This is from Chef Larry Edward. He's saying the burnt is the caramelization of the ingredients, and yeah, it tastes great. Thanks, Chef Larry. Good to know. You know what? That kind of makes me want to buy a pizza tonight and burn it in my oven. I've been buying frozen pizzas at the grocery store and making them in my oven like a real chef. And they've been turning out great, but now I think I'm going to keep them in a little bit longer and get that burnt taste, which is pretty good. I agree. Reading your tweets here. Thank you for tweeting me at Mary Kate Fox 10. And feel free again to tweet Dave at Fox10 Dave. That's his Twitter account. You can see right there, Fox10 Dave. Do you want to tell him that you enjoyed the chat? I'll try and have him up here with me more on the show here. I'm glad you guys enjoyed that. Oh, let me change the lower third now. Thanks for joining me here on the stream. We are streaming live here out of Phoenix, Arizona. It's 8:48 here tonight. We do have some great weather this weekend. I know most of you, though, aren't watching from Phoenix. You're watching from all over the U.S., and you're probably pretty cold right now. I know myself, I'm from Ohio. I know the pain, you guys, of this time of the year, but you'll get to summer, I promise. Spring is just around the corner. Let me pull up, though, a couple other top stories I just want to take you to. I want to take you to this story here. This was... Let me pull this up. Hold on one sec, you guys. I've got... So we were talking about Groundhog Day. Again, I still haven't seen the movie. Bill Murray, though. You can't beat Bill Murray. He's so funny, isn't he? Life of the Aquatics, that's a great movie. Lost in Translation. He just does so well, right? But Groundhog Day, what's it all about? What does it mean? Let's give you the update. Since today is Groundhog Day, let me pull up the volume here. Let's take you to this segment.
Well, it's Groundhog's Day today, and this morning, Pennsylvania's most famous groundhog, Punxsutawney Phil, has predicted 6 more weeks of winter. Saw a shadow. That always cracks me. If you look at that groundhog, like, what are all these people yelling about? The festivities started in the German legend that says if a furry rodent casts a shadow on February 2nd, winter will continue. If not, spring's going to come early. Well, in reality, Phil's predictions, they're not good. Gobbler's Knob. He's about 50-50 is what I've heard, 65 miles northwest of Pittsburgh. He's now predicted more than 103 times, and early spring only 18 times, including last year. But apparently his predictions are not great. But he is lovable and very excited. Can you tell how excited he is?
So I just want to take you to that segment again, you guys. It's Groundhog Day, so I had to update you on that. Someone in the chat said I have to see that movie. Yeah, maybe I will watch it on Netflix later or something. I watch a lot of Netflix. I like to. Right now, I'm watching The Office. I'm back to watching the first season, second season of The Office. You guys remember that show? Great show with Michael Scott and Pam. I love that show. Did you know it's based off of a British version? It was first in the UK, and they brought it over here and revamped it and made it a US show. That's what I've been watching lately on Netflix. What are you guys watching right now? Do you watch Netflix? Do you watch HBO Go? What do you watch? And what show are you into right now? There's a new show that just came out on HBO Go with Jude Law. He plays a priest. It's supposed to be really good. My mom just told me about it the other day and said it's a pretty wild show. Yeah, Christine in the chat saying, I love The Office. Such a good show. It's just the way that they shoot it, you know? It just seems so real. Like, that seems like a real office where people are just so bored and... Smooth Cobra saying, I like Boardwalk Empire. I watched a little bit of that. It just, I guess it's more of a guy's show. I kind of lost interest, but it's definitely a well-made show. Young Pope, yeah, San in the chat. Young Pope. It's supposed to be really wild. So my parents started watching that on HBO Go, and if you guys haven't heard of Young Pope, you should search on YouTube the trailer. It looks crazy. Jude Law's in it. A couple other actors are in it. Diane Keaton. It's supposed to be really good. Yeah, Demon Wearer saying Walking Dead. That's always the classic to watch. Again, I only saw the first 2 episodes, and then I kind of lost interest. I don't know why. I guess I like romance and comedy more. I mean, Walking Dead does have some comedy in it, though, I think, right? Or is it just all violence? Let me scroll down here, see what you guys are saying. I'm asking, what are you guys watching right now? And are you watching Netflix? Are you watching HBO Go? What's the hot show right now? Yeah, a lot of you guys commenting here. Game of Thrones from Jordan Gish. Yeah, again with the, I couldn't get into Game of Thrones. I don't think maybe it's timepieces I don't really like. You know, like Atonement and movies like that and Game of Thrones. I guess I just can't stay interested in it. I don't know why, but I heard it's the best show. I do like Lord of the Rings though. So I don't know, maybe I just need to force myself through those first couple episodes. Pro Tools saying, what's your opinion on Alex Jones? Hey, he definitely is a good presenter, right? He knows how to get people watching. Oh, Billy Joe saying Homeland. Watch the first couple episodes of that too. That's a cool show. I should have stuck with that. That was a great pilot episode, wasn't it? John Zarn is saying Narcos. Yeah, I heard that's a great show. Appreciate you guys commenting with me on what shows you're watching right now. Want to take you to this really quickly here, just get you caught up on the top stories of the day happening here locally and nationally.
Meet somebody who he was talking to online, and he never returned from that meeting. So this morning, Pinal County Sheriff deputies, they're asking for your help to find him. 25-year-old Cody Robert Virgin. On Monday, Border Patrol found his abandoned car in the desert south of Eloy. Sheriff's deputies call his disappearance suspicious. Detectives looking into his social media history prior to his disappearance. If you've seen him, you know anything about him, you're being urged to call the Pinal County Sheriff's Office. We're learning that a pair of F-16s based out of Luke Air Force Base were involved in a deadly training accident in New Mexico. The pilots were using munitions at Holloman Air Base when they reportedly hit 2 people working on the ground. A civilian contractor was killed, another wounded. The accident now under investigation. That prison hostage standoff in Delaware we've been telling you about for a couple of days is now over. Unfortunately, 1 hostage is dead. Authorities breached that prison building where the inmates took 4 staffers hostage yesterday. Now, this happened in the past couple of hours. Authorities at the James T. Vaughn Correction Center say the prison is now secure. The governor this morning promising to hold accountable anybody who is responsible. But this points out, as I've said for years, that there are deadly dangers being faced by our corrections officers every single day here in Arizona and across the country. And they haven't gotten a pay raise, many of them, in a decade. This morning, we are hearing from Milo Yiannopoulos, the controversial Breitbart News editor who appeared at Berkeley had to be canceled because of a huge protest out there. Demonstrators breaking windows, hurling smoke bombs, starting a bonfire, forcing the university to then cancel that appearance. The Breitbart News editor, known as a provocateur and self-proclaimed internet troll, made comments that have been criticized as racist and white supremacist. He tells Fox News, though, free speech is under serious attack.
You know, I am not, a scary, far-right, kind of neo-Nazi as some of the posters claim. They put those things on posters to try to legitimize their own violence against me and against my supporters. Instead, I'm just a sort of libertarian, gay, Trump-supporting provocateur who likes to, present interesting arguments. And we have good, fun shows with huge sold-out audiences, very, very popular, and probably the hardest ticket on American college campuses. Students absolutely love me.
Well, these people didn't love him. They're in Berkeley, and you can see starting fires spilling out into the streets. And this morning, President Trump reacted on Twitter saying, quote, "If UC Berkeley does not allow free speech and practices violence on innocent people with a different point of view, no federal funds, question mark." Some news for you in Arizona.
So, just a little bit of an update there. You guys obviously heard about that situation in Berkeley last night, riots and, well, not, I don't know, what'd you call them, riots, protests, those were happening last night. See, you guys, we're always streaming breaking news for you here across the U.S. I appreciate you guys watching with me tonight. If you want to continue the conversation, go ahead and tweet me at MaryKateFox10, and we can keep talking, but that is the end of tonight's Fox News Now stream. We'll be back on the air tomorrow morning, though, at 9 a.m. Thanks for joining me.